live. I see there's nobody in the top chat yet, but I want to welcome each and every one of you that are coming in. We are on Friday, 20th day of September. Man, this year is flying by, you guys. My mustache is really starting to look pretty good, huh? I've never grown it out for a while. It's the only part of me that is not gray. Letting everybody know we did hit the big 25K. Letting everybody know. Hope everybody's okay today. It is beautiful here in downtown Nebraska. Hey, Ryan Murphy, how you doing? Good to see you. Prepper Smith, Cheryl, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Didn't see you guys pop in there. I was kind of looking around. I was getting ready to put this stuff out on social networks. How's everybody this wonderful Friday afternoon? You out of the hospital yet, Ryan? Kyle came in as well. I don't have the mixer set up, so we are just kind of ad-libbing it today, you guys. I want everybody to know, if you haven't been watching the YouTube yet today, we hit that 2.5K. I am going to be setting a wheel up today, and you guys have until midnight tonight to get everything on there. If you want anything to do, 1 to 4 chances you can get, go watch the video. You got out on Monday, Ryan? Oh, man, must feel good then, huh? You guys visit there for a minute. I have to tweet this out. I have to get everything going out on the internet here. I tweet it out real fast. Man, looks like there are a ton of people going live today. I don't get it. Usually this time of day it's kind of quiet. I'm not quite getting it. Everybody must be home from work or something. There, that ought to be good enough. Okay. Let's do a roll call here. I have Cheryl Hirsch, I got Prepper Smith, I got Ryan Murphy, I got Kyle Anderson. Looks like Prepfort's in here. Old man came in while I was doing stuff. Hey, old man, Peanuts Preppers. Good afternoon to you too. Everybody having a great day? I am having a great day. I woke up this morning and they didn't take as many away from me as I had worked hard for to make sure I stayed at that 2.5K so we could have that drawing. I've been really anxious to get rid of those 2 knives. So now we're going to be able to do that tomorrow. I am just plumb tickled. How are you feeling, Ryan? Are you feeling okay? They put you on antibiotics. What the heck did they find out that was wrong with you? Oh, man, the popsicle. Darn it. I forgot it, old man. Can I put you in charge while I run over there and get it? Can I trust you to be in charge while I walk over to the ice box and get my popsicle? Oh, you're off all the meds? I'll be right back. I gotta get my popsicle. All right, now we're all set. Got the popsicle, winging it with a Colleen. Good afternoon to you. I grabbed this while I was up. I can't show you the other side because it has the real name on there. But this is for you, old man. It's going out this afternoon. I think you're really going to like that. I finished it up this morning and put it in an envelope. My kid's going to take it to the post office as soon as he gets off of work. You guys want to do a weather check? Is it starting to be a nice time of the year for everybody? I believe it's around, let's see, it's only a nice, cool 74 degrees here in beautiful downtown Nebraska. How about where you guys are at? Oh, it's still hot where you're at, winging it? 74 degrees and sunny with a breeze. You still in Cali then, Ryan? 64 degrees in Western Washington. Corey Ball, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I'm glad you came by, Corey. Greenville, South Carolina. 90 and humid in Florida. Make sure if you guys don't know each other that you're figuring it all out. This isn't one of my regular networking stream, but why not network anyway? I'm waiting for a few more people to get in here and I'll open it up for discussion on what I want to talk about. Just waiting for a few more folks to drop in. I try to pick my topic on Fridays off of what I see in the news, see what everybody thinks about what's going on. You got your popsicle, old man? Oh, Peanuts, is your family's during that flash flood area? Oh, congratulations. Are you there yet, Corey? To 1K or you're how many away are you, Corey, from 1K? $25. Oh, that's gonna be it. That when you get that close, man, you just get real nervous. Have you noticed that? I remember when I was almost to 1K, man, I was beside myself. Tell you what, you guys, Corey is kind of new to me around here, so I'm pretty sure you guys don't know much of him either. So if you guys don't know Corey Ball, why don't you try to help him get a little bit closer to that 1K? Shit happens. Hey, good to see you too, my friend. Glad you came by. Friday chit chat's what we call it. We don't really do a lot of networking, but at the same time, we don't do it. Don't not do it. So I'm going to start a topic up here in a minute. I'm just waiting for a few more people to get in here so we can have a discussion. If you guys want to come up on the panel with me, just let me know and I'll drop a link in there and you guys can pop up here and help us talk about the topic when I get it brought up. I tell you what, Schick, you keep showing up in my live streams and stuff, you're going to end up turning blue. I keep seeing you around a lot here lately. That's what it takes to get into that Monkey Wrench crew club. What flavor? Banana. Banana, nana, nana. What flavor do you like, Pepper Smith? I always get banana, nana, nana because that's my favorite flavor. You don't care about anything but making videos? That's cool. If you don't want the Blue Ridge crew, that's fine. Actually, it's the Monkey Wrench crew. I'm sorry. You are in prep for it. I'm sorry I didn't hurt your comment. I thought I did. I've been trying to take care of everything as I go along. But if there's not a heart there, there will be. I'll go through everything and get real thoroughly tonight. So I've got the question for the day so we can talk about this. Let me drop a link in case anybody wants to come up here. Hold on a second. That way, if you guys just feel like coming up here, you can. You don't have to have an app or anything. I don't know if you guys know about this. You don't have to have an app for StreamYards. All you have to do is click on the link and it'll just bring you in. It'll ask you to if it's okay if they use your camera and stuff, and then they just pop you right in. So if you guys feel like you want to come up, that's cool. I'm not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. But that's just in case you want to come up. And the topic today is, what does everybody think about this stuff in the news that I saw this morning about all these millions of kids playing hooky from school to fight for climate change? That is going to be the topic for today. So it's all over the news. So I thought that would make a good topic. And I always pull my topics right off of what's going on in real time. You can't even spell. I get fat fingered sometimes too there, Schick. If you can make Prepper Smith laugh, he'll buy you a Bible, or buy a Bible, I believe it says. That's not totally true, Prepper Smith. They're gonna be voters and are the people to run our world eventually. So they should have a say. It depends on how old they are, of course. But, they still have to learn how to take care of the world. They are our future. A lot of people take that for granted. Some people don't have siblings or children or anything like that. But you have to actually stop and think about it, because they are our future. I only have one child. He's not really much of a child anymore, but they are our future. What do you want to leave the future of our nation? If I missed school, I got grounded too, Kyle. for what they teach in school anymore, they probably don't even know if they're there or not. If you really think about it. Hey Ryan, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. You know, when my kid was in school and junior high and high school and stuff, I I didn't understand that stuff they were trying to teach them. I mean, they don't even really teach them history anymore. I mean, I asked him how he was doing in history one day. He goes, "What are you talking about, Dad? They don't teach history. And the history they do teach them is not even the right history. It's just ridiculous. Starting to brainwash the kids before they even get out of school. Luckily, my kid knows a lot about history because I wouldn't let him not know it. Hey, Lou, I saw you come in, my friend. How are you doing today? I'm telling you, Lou, they are really, really starting to brainwash them early, I think. I mean, they don't even teach them the history. They don't teach them about any of the wars that we've been in. They don't teach them about any of the wars from way back in the early days, days in the Bible and stuff like that. They don't teach them any of that stuff. Hi, Anthony. Hi. I got to eat the other half of my popsicle here or I'm going to let it melt. Yeah. The question is, what does everybody's, Anthony, if you just got here, what do you think about all the kids marching, the millions of kids that are marching today in a show of support for climate change? Well, uh, I can't try to change your mind. I'm not even going to try, Prepper Smith. But the carbon gases and stuff that we burn off are actually affecting our climate, and it'll probably affect it from now until doomsday. But if we can at least harness some of them from doing so much, I mean, those big corporations don't care if they tear up the ozone and ozone layer. But I have to look at it like this. I'm an older person. I've been around for quite a while. I don't know how old you guys are or anything. I don't press it. But I'm an older guy now. I'm in my 60s, and I've been around and I've watched a lot of stuff going on in the world. And I actually worked in my younger years, in my late teens, early 20s. I worked in the oil fields. So I know all the crud that those big companies do. And they don't care. All they care is about the dollars. So, if they can learn to work cleaner, I'm all for that because we have to leave something for our kids. Deplorable Bobby, how are you? I'm just thinking about the future of my kids. I mean, I'm I'm at the other end of the spectrum. But what are we gonna leave for our children to have to endure? We used to worry about that. Our nation actually used to worry about that. China and India do a lot of pollution. I agree. We have to work on what we have first, and then when we get what we have harnessed, then we can go after those other countries and try to show them that hey, if we can do it, you can do it. But I'm worried about. If you think about it, back when I was growing up, even when I was growing up as a kid, my mom and dad, they always were concerned with what was going on around them. You know, they were trying to figure out how they could work towards leaving something for the younger generation. But I really don't see that happening anymore. I mean, everybody's in such a big hurry to go here and go there and do this and do that. They're saying, hey, screw what's going on. You know, we can't change it, so screw it. Well, that's what has gotten us in this big predicament is the people that are older now are not caring about what's going on with the younger people. And the younger people that are just starting to mature, and in my opinion, maturing for an adult is right around 30 ish. And that's when they really start caring about more things than just the testosterone stuff, you know. So what I think about is, you know, oh shoot, there goes the neighborhood. Mike's in the house. You guys got to be kind of slow. He's kind of a slow thinker. So, but anyway, you know what I was saying is, if we don't start teaching our kids what it is to conserve what you have now for the future, so it's better for the future. You know, that's how I was raised. That's how my parents taught me. You know, if we don't take care of what we have now, you won't have it later. And that's how they also taught me how about politics. You know, I don't like to talk about politics in here, but that's the same reason my parents taught me about politics. You know, the national debt, it keeps going up because the politicians we have now don't even care how much money we're spending. If they spend too much money, we'll never get out of debt. You know, but back in my day, we were worried about picking a politician that really wanted to work on the national debt and get us out of hock with these other nations. So, you know, I don't see any of that happening anymore. All the left or the right, doesn't matter who you pick. All they care about is spending, 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 spending. Not about anything about balancing. So that's all. It all goes together, you know, along with the learning how to keep our environment cleaner and keeping the cost of things down. Or that's my thought on it anyway. Hey, Reed, how you doing? Good to see you. That was a great video you put out, my brother. I loved it. Jester's Cards. Hey, I see you now. How you doing? Sometimes when I'm talking, I don't see everybody that comes in the door. So we got Walker Outdoors, Jester's Cards, and Deplorable Bobby, and Reed, and Anthony. I mean, we have so many things at our fingertips that we can do. You're right, Anthony. There is a lot of stuff that can be done with hemp other than just smoking it and getting loaded on it. You know, it's good for everything. Right here in Nebraska, where I live, back in I believe it was World War II, they grew hemp here as to make rope and stuff out of for the war. So, you know, back in the early 70s and stuff, when I was just getting out of the military and stuff, I'd drive down the roads, the highways here, and hell, you'd see pot plants, you know, 6, 7, 8 foot tall, just growing wild in the ditches and stuff, you know. Well, I'd go crazy thinking, hey, I found something good here. I'm not going to tell anybody, but you know, it's been deloused, so it won't get you loaded. But they used it back during the war, you know, and they made all kinds of stuff out of it. They made rope and they made products out of it, you know, and because they couldn't really afford anything else during those times. So if we start bringing some of those old things back into the mix of things, then we're more likely to do better as a nation. You know, you see all these kids are fighting for a cleaner environment. And I was raised to try to pass some of that on to my kids. but I don't see it happening for anybody else. I don't know. That's why I ask you guys, what do you think about it? Because do you want to try to clean the environment up so that we can pass it on to another generation, so that they don't have to just say, now what do we do? This was all dumped on us. What can we do about it now? Why can't we all work together and push it off? Here, this is what we tried to do for you guys. Now it's time for you guys to take the ball and make it better. That's the kind of thing that we should be working for, not to sit here and say, well, you know what? It's been like that forever. So why should I worry about it now? Just screw it. Let the next generation worry about it. Well, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's not what I believe in anyway. I believe that we should try to do our best now with what we have. Try to pass what we learned from that on to the next generation so that they can build on that. Crazy Scotsman, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you, my brother. Caught me in the middle of a rant. How are you doing today? Let me try to catch up here. I've been talking too much. Hemp will go a long ways, that's for sure. Like I said, I was raised back in the day, a lot better day. I feel my parents actually cared about what went on around them. I mean, I can only tell you from what I see locally here or from in my lifetime is there's a lot of the people of today, like in their just starting out in life, all the way through into their 40s and 50s, that really don't care. They just quit caring. They let the government program them into thinking that, hey, don't worry about it type of attitude. And that's just total crock. That's just a total crock, in my opinion. I think that we should be as good as what our parents teach us. And if your parents aren't teaching you the right way, then you need to think for yourself and try to figure it out. I mean, if you look all around us, look at, like I said, look at those millions of kids that took off of school and are marching all across the United States today for a cleaner environment. They want a cleaner environment. They don't want us to dump a bunch of crap off onto them. I mean, it's not right. It's not right for us to just go through our lives not giving a care about anything and then say, well, it's too late now. We'll just let the next generation worry about it. In my opinion, that is as good as just turning your back on your country and your kids. Yeah, see, I ran Prepper Bob out, trying to look. I think I saw him say he was leaving. Yeah, okay, Prepper Bob, if you're still here, I'll catch you next time. So I think that we as older Americans, and I include some of the people in here as older Americans because I know a lot of you guys, you're in your 30s or 40s, and we need to get together and just try to push a cleaner America for future generation. I mean, perhaps we can't clean it all up, but we can actually take part of it and hand it off and tell them to go ahead and make it better for the next generation. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the whole thing behind what I asked that question for at the beginning is if our young people are thinking that way now and they're still in school, probably middle school or high school, then why can't we, as responsible adults, try to work towards that ourselves? You know, I never used to think any different either. I was in the same mindset as everybody else back when I was in my 30s and 40s. It was, oh, let's party, let it, who cares about it now? But as you get older, you start letting your mind kind of sink into what's really going on around you. And it's like Anthony says, he's been in third world countries and stuff, and he knows what they have to deal with. So in order for that to happen, we have to actually change our mindset too. The big corporations like the oil companies and I don't know production, anybody doing production or anything, they are gonna keep dumping on our environment in any way they can, and they're gonna keep lobbying Washington to keep being able to do it. So it's up to the regular folks, the people outside the political atmosphere, I guess would be the right way to say it, to push back and tell them that's not what we want. We want them to be responsible in how they're taking care of their businesses so that there can be something left for the future of our country. What are you doing, Walker? TK Tanay. Hey, how are you doing? I didn't see you walk in. How are you doing today? Where are you from? Yeah, it's not just third world countries, that's for sure. I mean, we do our share here. The big oil companies and the big production companies, textile companies, the coal companies. There's a lot of people out there that are actually making it hard on our atmosphere. I mean, I have respiratory problems, and I want the air to be better. I want the air to be better for the young people. I'm already done, but I want it to be better for the young people. So, I didn't even realize there were so many organizations out there that are actually sponsored by the older generation. I watched an interview with an 80-year-old lady that said that she was a denier for a long, long time, and she said that she actually took a trip outside of the USA and went up and to see the Northern Lights. I don't know if you guys saw that interview or not, but she had dreamed her whole life of going up and seeing the Northern Lights, and that she went up there and she saw everything. Where it was supposed to be snow and everything was underwater. And she said she had dreamed about going and seeing this for so long, her whole life. But she said then she got up there and she saw exactly what's going on. So she said that really changed her mind right then and there. That she went from being a denier to being a believer. And maybe that's what some of us need to do. Take a trip and see something that we really like to see and see it falling apart to actually make us become believers again. But I am a stern believer that I was not raised just to pass it on to the next generation. I was raised to uh, do whatever it takes to make the next generation easier for them. I mean, we all as parents want better for our children, right? If we all want better for our children, then we should be taking care of the air that we breathe and the ground that we plow up and stuff. If we don't take care of those things, it's not going to be fun for the people that are going into it into the future. Yep, exactly right, old man. I was just looking at that comment that you made, and you're exactly right. That are you talking about that paper mill over in Everett? Because that's what they did. They shut down. They got so much pressure from all the pollution that they were putting out that they actually shut down that mill and moved everything overseas. I remember when that happened. I'm catching up here, you guys. So I just thought I'd make the stream about something like that. I mean, maybe we can make a difference together. I mean, it takes, we are stronger in numbers. So if I can try to make a difference through here, I figure that will be good enough for me. Like I said, see the hose. I'm on my way out. When I started doing YouTube, I didn't have to wear this thing all the time. I didn't. I was out doing things. I was making things, filming it. I was doing a lot of things. But as time went on, my health deteriorated. So now I'm trying to pass my wisdom and my the stuff I've learned through my life on to other people. Hey, Alana, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Glad you made it in. So it's we can leave it the way it is, and we can say, hey, you know, I can't make a change. But that's taking the chicken's way out because everybody can make a change. It might be just a minute one, but those little changes add up to big changes when a lot of people are doing them. So it's really important, that we pull together, as a country. I mean, look at all those millions of kids that are marching today. I mean, millions of them, millions. And they're from all across the country. I mean, it doesn't matter what city that you're in. They panned all the major cities, and they're just millions of kids in each one of those cities. And even they did some of the small outer like Midwest towns and stuff, and they are just pounding on it. I mean, they don't want to live in a generation of having to put the things back together again. I mean, it is up to us as the older generation to pass on something better for our kids. I mean, they're not all our kids. Well, they are all our kids because that is our future. While we're sitting in our rocking chairs, they're going to be out there making all the changes and stuff. So it is up to us to make those changes. Bossy Cascade. Yeah, I was talking about that one in Everett. I can't think. I think it was Scott Paper or something like that down there on the waterfront, and they got pushed on so hard for all their conditions, the air conditions, what they were doing to the land and stuff like that, that they actually just shut their doors and moved all their stuff over to China. Basically, what they did. So I guess I'm just making a push on it today because it's a big thing for today. It's all across the news. So I thought I'd come on here and see if I could convince some of you guys to do a little bits here and there to try to make our next generation a safer place to be. I mean, if they're taking the time to try to show Washington what can be done or what they expect to be done, Why shouldn't we, as older adults, responsible adults, should be doing something to make it work? I mean, I feel bad that they have to go into that next generation with a burden like that. I mean, we used to. I used to worry about the deficit. That's what my mom and dad worried about. They worried about having a big deficit to leave their kids. That's it. That's the kind of things they had to worry about back in those days. Is leaving a bigger deficit for their kids. Well, we're doing the same darn thing with the deficit too. I hate to tell you. I mean, they keep spending money, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. They all spend money like it's going out of style. You can't tell me they don't because you see it every day. And then they don't worry about balancing anything out. Think about when you are, think about it as if it's your budget. You know, if you didn't pay your rent and pay your light bill and pay your water and gas and all that stuff, they would come and kick you out of your house. Well, the government has the same problem, only it's much larger, and they should be worried about building balancing a budget instead of spending all the money. They spend all the money. They spend the money before they got it. They stole from mine and your Social Security funds. They stole the money so that they could do something else and promised to pay it back, but they never got around to it. That's just like a kid. They promise to pay their parents back, but they never do. You know? So, that's another thing. That's another story for another day, but that's basically the same thing. We have to be responsible. And if our government is not being responsible about it, then we need to push back and make them be responsible or get rid of them and get somebody in there that will. Hey, Milky Way, I didn't see you wander through the door. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Politics is a tool to divide and conquer, and they use it against us quite well because we allow that to happen. They allow it to happen. We allow it to happen. What we have to do as a country, we need to pull together and push back. I have talked to a lot of people out here on YouTube, and there's a lot of people that have just given up on trying to push back. You know why? Because they say it doesn't work. Well, you get enough of those people talking like that, and it's impossible to change because nobody cares anymore. I'm on the other end of my life, but I am not going to quit pushing back. I don't understand why people give up or even say, hey, they can quote all this bullshit they want, excuse my French, from all these other books and stuff about conquerors and kings and how it was back in the day. That is then. We have to worry about right friggin' now. If we're not worried about right now, we're going to lose everything that we have worked for all these hundreds of years, couple of hundred years that we've been here. I mean, if we don't start pushing back and saying this is not right, this is what we have to do, then if you're doing the same thing as these other guys that are saying, well, if you read this book, if you read that book, if you look back at this type of day, that was back then. We should have learned from those. We should have learned from all that and been better. But now we are in a situation where it's not going to be that way unless we, the people, push back and get it back on track. Can't just sit there and say, too late. Well, you know what? If you talk like that, it probably is too late. Thing is, you got to push back. Keep pushing. Never quit. Always be prepared. That's what I always tell you guys on my videos. Always be prepared. Now you guys got me up on my soapbox. Yeah, it's crazy out there, Reed. I totally, I can't say it enough. Uh, there's they have divided it so badly that nobody cares anymore. Nobody really cares. So it's up to the ones that still care to actually go out and get the ones that don't care into caring again. And I don't know, I do the best I can. I'm only one person. But, I talk to so many people that say, I don't even vote anymore. I don't vote because it doesn't matter. Well, that's what they want you to think. That's exactly what they want you to think. They don't want you to go vote. They want you to stay home. They want to be able to stay in power. Only way we can change it is by pushing back and voting. I don't care if you don't agree with it or not. You still have to do it because if you don't, you're giving in to them. You are actually giving in to what they want. They don't want you to vote. They don't want you to do anything. They don't want you to care about anything. They just want to be able to do what they want. Hey Wayne, how you doing? Good to see you, my brother. Glad you did stop in. I appreciate that. So, regardless of what the government wants from you, we have to learn to think for ourselves. We have to think for ourselves. We have to push back and we have to vote. And regardless of what you think, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, that's up to you. I can't change your mind. But if you don't go and vote, you're doing what they want. They don't want you to vote. They don't want a lot of us not to vote. They keep making our lives tough. They keep dividing the country. And they do that in order to make people not go out and vote. Still Winter Nation. Hey, hey, good to see you. Man, I've been wanting to have you in one of my streams for a while because I wanted to tell you, whatever you're doing over there, you keep doing it because I like it. You're a funny man. I've been waiting for you to come through one of my streams so I could tell you that. I really enjoy myself every time I come over there to your stream. If you guys want to laugh your asses off and have a lot of fun while you're doing it, get over there and check out Still Winter Nation. Man, that kid is funny. I'm telling you. We all need a break from the seriousness, and that kid knows how to do it. He keeps everything mixed up. He does some off the wall stuff, but you're gonna laugh when you're over there, you guys. Okay, let me see what we're going on here. Yeah, go check him out, Reed. Still Winter. He is funny. Yep, that's exactly right, Reed. I agree with that. By the time you guys get up to where Social Security is, there probably will not be any left. It's the way it is. I mean, I was really surprised there was anything left when I got there. I really was. They have stolen it blind. They were like little kids in the candy store. They got all these people to pay into this fund that they would have when they retired. And they couldn't, that fund was earmarked. That fund was never supposed to be touched. But they found a way around it, the crooks they are. They found a way around it and they dipped in there and they say, well, we'll pay that back. We'll pay that back with interest, okay? Right. Just like a kid won't pay back your mom and dad. You borrow money from your mom and dad, but you don't ever pay it back. Keep telling them you're going to pay them back, but you never really do, you know. Uncle Al, hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Uncle. Well, you know what? I worked hard for my whole life. I understand there's people that have never worked a day in their life and they are on disability insurance. And I used to really feel bad about that. I used to be just steamed up about it. But those folks have to live too, And but I worked hard. I worked very hard. I worked until I was uh doctors told me to quit when I was in my 40s. Told me to go on disability when I was in my 40s, but I didn't do it because I just couldn't afford it for one thing. I just couldn't afford it. I asked the doctors if they were going to pay my bills, and they said no. So I went ahead and worked until I was 55, and I probably would have kept on working even then, but I just about died. So that was it. I just quit working at that point, and that's when I went on my Social Security. If I hadn't worked all those years, though, because I started working like when I was 15, if I hadn't worked all those years, I wouldn't have got nothing for Social Security. And thank God I did. I waited so long because I, although I don't get near what I used to get from working, I get something that makes me get by. So, you know what, Palmetto? If we were in socialism, I think they would just let when the old get sick, they wouldn't let them have anything that they really need, not enough to keep them alive anyway. They would give them the meds and stuff, but they wouldn't give them anything that would make them prolong their life. And then that would just go ahead and let them die off. That would be like a population control type of issue. But I think you're right. The old people are going to be like on a death panel. They will just simply quit giving them enough of what they need, and they'll just slowly perish. A SUV is inside a mall. Uh-oh. Thanks, Wayne. Yeah, we don't have much time left here. I only do an hour on Fridays. Yeah, they don't give old people much anymore either. Bo Star Channel. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. They pretty much have population control on the elderly now. So, execute. I don't really think that's in our best interest, but they will find a way for them just to die. That's just the way it is. They can't. If it's a socialistic thing, they won't be able to uh, support the old and elderly. So they'll find a way that maybe not execution, but they will find a way for them to just disappear. Maybe slip them a Mickey or something. Yep, I bet they come up with something like that too, Lou. That's a good one there. Because if the old people and elderly, they kind of it's both one and the same. But if they don't have what they need to survive, they won't want to live anymore. So they'll probably give them the option of A, you can sit there and suffer, or B, you can take this little pill and say hasta la vista. What are we doing on time here? We got about 3 minutes left, you guys. What else you guys got? Thanks, Still Winter. I appreciate that, my friend. I've heard the same thing, old man. I hear that they are going away. Lab rats, you think they're taking them and using them as lab rats? Hey, remember, you guys, we hit 2.5K. So if you guys aren't entered into the contest yet, you are subscribed to this channel. You need to go over there and find that video. It's in my playlists. There's only 3 videos in there. It's about the 2.5K drawing. You have to put it in the original video where it says 10 concealed carry tips for beginners. That's the original giveaway rule thing. And go in there if you're subscribed to the channel and tell me that you're in, so you're in for the giveaway. That giveaway is going to be Saturday during our regular live stream. So we'll be doing the wheel of recognition. We'll be doing the wheel for the giveaway, and then we'll be doing the wheel where everybody gets a gift, one gift. So there'll be 3 wheels altogether on Saturday's live stream. Hey, Reed, before you go, you got time to tell me, are you going to be there Monday? All right, CR, thanks for coming, my friend. I guess he slipped out. Yes, ma'am, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be the wheel of recognition, the wheel where we give out the gift, the weekly gift thing, and then the wheel for the giveaway where I give away the 2 knives. We are going to have a busy day. All right, that brings us right down to the 2 o'clock whistle. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. Remember, I do every Friday at 1 p.m. Really appreciate you guys dropping in. I always drop in a topic, and we sit there and talk about that topic every Friday afternoon. So till next Friday, you guys, catch you out there.